Stampers, Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. I have a fun card to share with you today. We're using the Painted Harvest stamp set, and this video is filled with tips, not only for some special tips for stamping with the stamp set, but some other stamping and general tips. You're going to want to make sure you watch this one all the way to the end. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, let me know. I would love to be yours. If you need to order Stampin' Up! Products, I would truly appreciate you selecting me. I have a great rewards program so you can earn free product, and I'll send you some free catalogs. So if you have questions, need anything like that, make sure to get a hold of me. I would love to be your demonstrator. So let's turn the camera down and get stamping today. Here's a closer look at the card that we're making today. There's the outside and there's the inside. And I have so many tips to share with you today as we're going through making this. So make sure you watch all the way to the end so that you don't miss anything, because it's a very quick and easy card. But as I was making it, there was just all these little tips that I think are going to really help you in all of your stamping, not just with this card. So let's set it aside. And we're going to go ahead and get started by stamping our sunflower. We're using Painted Harvest stamp set. Now this one, at first thoughts, I'm thankful for you. It's kind of a fall, thankful, Thanksgiving-ish type stamp set, but I love the flower and you can use it year round. So don't limit yourself just to these greetings, because we're actually going to pull in a stamp set that's a great one for everybody. It's called Itty Bitty Greetings. It is full of almost any greeting you could possibly want. So you could almost use any of these along with this stamp set, and then you could go ahead and make a birthday card, a Mother's Day card, just a hello, a wedding card, a sympathy card, a miss you, engaged, congratulations, graduation. We could go on and on and on. So when you get a real nice general greeting set like this, it works so perfect with everything. So let's go ahead and stamp. We have a 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch square here. So I think this might be tip number 1 in the video today. We're using the piercing pad. Now it's kind of a silly name because we're not piercing at all, but it's a foam pad that helps you get a much better stamped image every time you're using the photopolymer stamps. This is a must-have. But because I'm going to stamp kind of off of my cardstock and I don't want this to get full of ink, what I like to do is just stick it under here underneath my grid paper, and then you can kind of feel the edge so that you don't go off the side. But that'll protect the pad. And then we're going to take our piece of Whisper White here that is 2.5 by 2.5, and with this sunflower we have 2 pieces. It's a 2-step one. One is more solid, as I like to call it, and one is more detailed. I like to stamp my solid one first in my lighter color, so we'll just go ahead and ink that up good. And I do want it to come off the bottom of this piece of cardstock there. So there is number 1. We stamped it in crushed curry. And then we're going to go ahead and grab pumpkin pie and take the more detailed one. Now, don't get all hung up on trying to match this in the perfect location. I'm not real sure if there's a perfect location, to be honest, and if there is, it's not worth figuring it out because it's going to look great no matter how you stamp it. So there's our 2 for our flower. Then we're going to take soft suede and use the little center piece here. Now what I found, notice I didn't stamp real good here in the center. They're off a little bit. It's not a big deal because when I stamp the center, it totally covers that up. So soft suede, we're going to stamp on scrap paper first because I want it a little bit lighter. Then go ahead and stamp it in the center. And then there's the little stamp with 5 little dots. We'll do soft suede straight off the pad so it's darker and go ahead and stamp it on there. So we've got that part. Next, we're going to stamp the leaves. So we're going to call this tip number 2. I don't think I snuck another one in there. But you will notice with our stamp set here, our leaves, again, it's a 2-step, a more solid one and a more detailed one. It has this long stem. which is all fine and dandy. There's a punch that also coordinates with it, so you could punch this leaf out. But I like to, when I'm stamping, at least for this card, I want to butt this leaf right up to the edge here. And it looks a little bit silly if you have this big old stem kind of sticking in your flower. So I literally took my scissors, and can you see these little pieces here? Gotta be careful to not lose them. But I cut off a good part of the stem here. See how it's shorter? Now I keep these in my stamp case because there are times that I do want the whole stem. So we'll stick them in there. And I mean, you can easily stick this on the block right along with it, butt it up in there, and now we got our full stamp again. So for this card, we're gonna stick those aside, and we have garden green. I think it's easier on this one. It's kind of backwards what I said with the flower, but I can see and line up better if I do my darker shade first. So I have the detailed part straight off garden green, and we'll stamp it there. And see, now it looks more like it's coming from underneath that flower instead of this big old long stem sticking in there. So we'll stamp 2 of those, and then we'll take the more solid one, which we need lighter. So we'll go on scrap paper first, and I found this one is really easy to line up. Again, ink it up, scrap paper, bring it in here, line it up, and there's our second flower. So let's set that aside. Grab a piece of scrap paper because we are going to cut one out with this. So we'll go, let's make sure we get it all on there. Crushed curry, there's the full one, and then we'll do the, detailed one. And again, we're going to stamp this just like we did, so you get kind of a second shot to see this. Soft suede on scrap paper first, put that one in the middle, and then soft suede with our little dots right there. Now this one's ready to cut out. There's not dies for this, but it is really easy to cut out. A couple of cutting tips, so we'll call this tip number 3. When you cut, you know, really just kind of go around the edges like this. You don't have to be super perfect about it, but what makes cutting easier is, now I'm right-handed, notice my scissors is in my right hand, and I'm turning my cardstock with my left hand. And I can real easy just turn it around. I'm cutting those pieces off, it's easier to get around. But see how my left hand is really doing all the work. My right hand is not hardly moving, and it just makes it easy to fussy cut, like we like to call it. There we go. So tip number 3 was our fussy cutting, and this is going to go right on there as we build our card. So we have a piece of garden green, which is our same green, that is 2 5/8. So it's just an 1/8 bigger. Remember, that's the size I like to layer my pieces, 1/8 bigger. So this was 2 1/2, so now we're going 2 5/8. We'll go ahead and stick that down like so. And then of course we have to use dimensionals because, you know, Jackie, we can't do anything without them. We'll just stick a few of these on our flower there. 2 should hold it down just fine. And we'll plop that right up here. We want it to kind of hang off. That's the whole idea. So let's go ahead and set that aside. And let's see, our first one was happy birthday. So why don't we pick a different greeting here? How about I'm here for you? That's a great one to use just for, there we are. You know what? I haven't even used this one. So we'll just peel that off and we'll stick it on a block, and we're gonna just use a scrap piece here. We're gonna stick it in our soft suede and stamp that. Now these are pretty small greetings, so I like to make a banner or something out of them so it just kind of helps them pop, I guess, on the card and not get so lost. And when they're this little, it really is easiest just to use your scissors. I love this paper snips. Okay, this is the one that Stampin' Up! Sells. It cuts great. And when I was fussy cutting before, it's really nice. Now to make a banner end, because you see banners, so what is this, tip 4 are we up to? You want to go ahead and just cut it straight a little bit of a ways out there. Hope you can see that. And then go right in the middle, roughly, we're eyeballing it. Make a little snip in, and then come out here to the corner and snip to that cut you just made, and snip right there to that cut. So again, we'll trim that off straight. Go ahead and cut in the middle, and then snip out from the corner, and then from that corner. And there is our banner piece. Now, I don't want this to just lay flat because I feel like it's going to get lost on there. So what I did is I took my bone folder and I kind of distressed this. I kind of went underneath it. Feel like you're curling ribbon. I go one way and then flip it over and go the other way. And that will just make this bend however you want it to bend. Do it a few times. Makes it super flexible. And then to adhere it down, I'm going to use my glue dots. And I'm going to put 2, and I'm going to put it part way in from the center here. So we'll just stick that right on that glue dot and pop it off. And then we'll come down here towards the end, and again, not all the way at the end. Put another glue dot on there. And now when I, we don't need this pad here. When I go to stick this down, I'm going to kind of bend it a little bit, and we'll go ahead and put the first one down right there. Oops, stuck to my finger. And then kind of crunch it up, I guess, a little bit to get some texture underneath there. And stick it down there. You can bend these ends up a little bit more if you want. But that just adds a little bit more dimension than if I was to have just glued that straight down. Okay, tip number 5, I might have lost count here, is we're going to take a piece of our burlap ribbon. This stuff just adds great texture, but it doesn't tie bows very well, so I never use it for bow tying. But I always think, your ribbon looks really nice just as a piece on a card, especially this, your thicker and heavier things. Now, I find the easiest way, good old-fashioned Scotch tape we're going to use. So I'm going to take a piece of that, flip this over. Okay, I want a little more on that left side here. We'll trim this to the right size later on, and tape that on like so. So let's go ahead and stick that aside. Boy, am I making a mess here. Let's clean up a second. Okay, guys, counting the tips because I think I lost count here. We're going to go ahead and emboss our layer here. Now this piece is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Now remember that measurement, and I'm going to give you a little tip here after I emboss it. So we're going to stick it in our embossing folder. This is the thick one, the Dynamic Duos. So when you use your platform, you don't use a second cutting plate. Normally we put a plate, this and another plate. This goes right on that platform and then a cutting plate. So let me go ahead and run that through the Big Shot. I don't think I told you which one I was using here. This is called Layered Leaves. Now I will have all of the products that I use down in the description of this video so that you'll be able to find them. I think I'm kind of using quite a few things. But anyhow, let's go back to this piece here. Especially with these thick ones, okay? There's a lot of embossing there and your paper will shrink a little bit. So I found I want this layer to ultimately be 5 1/4 by 4, but if I cut it that size and then I emboss it, it shrinks a little bit and I don't like that. So we embossed first. Now I can go ahead and put it in my cutter. We'll line it up. We don't need the scoring one. We'll line it up at 4 and we'll bring it around this way to 5 1/4. Now I know I have the exact size I want. Otherwise it'd be a little bit small. You keeping track? Was that number 6? Tip number 6? Okay, we're going to call this one tip number 7. Now you guys have seen you can cut your cardstock and make your card bases either 8.5 or 5.5, or 8.5 by 5.5, or 11 by 4 1/4. Either way works. I kind of like doing the long ones like this more so. But cardstock has a grain, believe it or not, and it definitely folds easier one way or the other. When we cut this way, 8.5 by 5.5, it does fold pretty easily, and I don't always score mine because I know it folds pretty good. Now on the other side, when you cut this way, it does not, and you can even feel it fighting when you go to fold it. It does not fold as nice. So I always score my cardstock when I'm doing a card base of 11 by 4 1/4. I like the scoreboard here. I think it gives you the nice crispest score. You can do it with a trimmer, but this just, I think, works a lot nicer, gets a better one. So we're going to go ahead and score at 5.5. Now the age-old question, okay, we scored here, so this size is raised a little bit. Everybody asks, which way do I fold? With the groove down or the little mountain up? do it with the little groove, the mountain facing up the ridge on the inside. So now when we fold it, we have a nice crisp fold. I like to use that bone folder too to go over it. And now it's nice and crisp both on the outside and on the inside. So there's our perfectly scored piece. We'll go ahead and this embossed layer, we can go ahead and stick that onto our card. Notice I'm using liquid adhesive. If you guys follow me, you know that that is my adhesive of choice. And just don't put too much on, okay? You don't want it to goosh or warp your paper, but if you're gentle with it, it's the best adhesive, at least in my opinion. Then we can go ahead and we'll take our layer. We're gonna pop this up with some more dimensionals. Let's stick probably 5 on here. Go ahead and peel those off. There we go. And then we are going to stick this kind of down bottom a little bit over to the left. We'll take our scissors here and trim this so it's not hanging out off the side of the card so that it fits in our envelope. Kind of got a little crooked. We can move it around a little bit. And there we go. So there is I'm here for you. And then here is our happy birthday. So once again, we could add any words to this stamp set. There's our inside. I just stamped it the same way I stamped the front. And then don't forget to stamp your envelope. There we go. I hope you've enjoyed this card and the vast array of tips I've shared with you, along with making a big mess of my stamping area here. Make sure you check the description of the video because I will list all of the products that I use, because I know I used a lot of things, but truly this card was quick and easy, just like everything I make. This is a stamp set I've used a lot. I will also down in the information lead you to several other cards that I've already made with this stamp set so that you're able to see more of them. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Please make sure to share my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you don't want to miss any more quick and easy cards. I post 3 times a week with 3 new videos, and I'm always looking at trying to teach you to make quick and easy cards. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be honored if you would select me. I would love to be your demonstrator and send you a catalog if you need one and help you with all of your stamping needs. Stampin' Up! Is my passion, it's my full-time job, and I really truly love to teach people to make quick and easy cards because that's how it should be. So again, questions, make sure you ask. I'm here to help you. I look forward to sharing lots more stamping ideas with you in the future. So until we get to stamp again, have a stamp happy day.